Hello everyone and welcome to another TDR family gaming video. This is DroydTDR and today we have a special raid going on. It was actually about a month ago that I ran into Gapptooth, who is a Twitch streamer for Dungeon Quest, and he was hosting a raid on Discord. And I thought, my golly, why don't we go and raid Gapptooth's raid? So I did that, and this is what happened. So of course we all just cruised on in, and if you're not familiar with Discord, if you're not on the Dungeon Quest Discord, of course you need to get on that. But this is an example of a raid from Discord, and people host them all the time. It's a great way to go up levels if you need to find people to play with. There's usually about between 10 and 30 people show up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So part of the fun of a raid is that there's so many people. It's like a competition both to see who can do the most damage, who can stay alive, because all of the enemies have so much more health because it scales up with the number of people that are actually playing. So it is kind of tricky to make this raid work out when you have so many people joining, because you have to have a lot of overpowered players, a lot of good dodgers, and a lot of good healers if you're going to make it a successful raid. So this one was pretty good. This was actually the fourth one of the evening, and I think the last one that I was in, and I figured, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm going to be healer like I have been for all of GHASTLY Harbor, and let me see if I can keep the host alive. So Gapptooth, this one was for you, making sure that I could keep you alive, at least when I saw you and knew where you were. This one was to help make the host survive. And you'll see, or you saw at the very beginning, that there were only 2 or 3 people wearing the armor or the skin or the cosmetic that Gapptooth was wearing. He was wearing what looked like a black ninja suit with a, maybe it was the fireman axe, right? So kind of easy. There was only a couple of people like that, so they stood out. And so I could kind of, at least some of the time, tell where they were, so I could make sure that they were going to stay alive. We're almost at the first boss, and you can just see how overpowering it is. We've got someone that's taunting, we have a lot of people healing, and tons of people doing damage. So it's kind of a race to see who can get to the next place, who can get the most damage in, and who can survive. And we've already lost 2, and I know there's like 20 or 25 people that joined this, but already 2 of them are down on my screen. And we made it to boss 1, the Smackin' Kraken, right? So we're going to give him a shellacking here, and I will stop rhyming now. But anyways, you can see Gapptooth is on the right here, and I'm standing fairly close to him, again, trying to keep the host alive, so that as he's doing his damage, we can hopefully make sure that he survives his first boss, though most people can survive the first boss. By the time you're in GHASTLY Harbor at this level, you should kind of know, the healers should know what they're doing, and you should know where you should stand. So it'd be pretty tricky, though some people did die. It's pretty tricky to lose a lot of people on boss 1 in this one. So here we go on, heading towards boss 2, but we've got these next 2 groups of enemies. This is oftentimes where the groups split randomly, and I never know which way to go when they split. So I was kind of like, well, maybe I can sort of partially cover both areas. There's only 2 guys working on this cannon crab and these guys over here, so I'll heal them, but also be a little bit more towards the other group so I can heal the fringes of the people on the other group as well. And it was just kind of a tricky mess, and eventually the other group was done with theirs, and they came back to help with this last soul cannon crab. And I believe Gapp came back to finish him off as well. You can see him running around that area with his axe and finally doing the final damage there. So here we go to boss 2. Now let's just see if anyone remembers what we call boss 2. Boss 2 is a special name, just like every boss, we give him a new special name. So let's see if you remember this one. That's right, it is the Grape Overlord. That was a great name that was come up by one of our viewers, because they know that we come up with new names, and we're trying to come up with something for this guy His corrupted overlord is just, I don't know, it's just too many syllables and doesn't roll off the tongue. But the grape overlord, that works. That's got kind of double meanings, and it's purple, and it's like purple grapes, and it's just awesome. So here we go. Watch out for the grape juice lines and the grape splotches on the docks as we take over the grape overlord and wipe him off the docks. I don't even think we needed a second cannonball run for this guy. Let's see. I don't think we did, but let's check it out. There might have been one more run. Not sure. Did we get him? Yes, we got him right before he started to vaporize for the second cannonball. So we did lose a lot of people on that boss, though. You can see almost my whole side of my screen is gone. But if you look at the number of people that are still playing, hey, there's a sizable amount here. So we may have lost 10 or 15, but we still got about 10 or 15. So that's part of the joy of a raid, is there's never a shortage of cannon fodder, if you will, but also hopefully you keep the ones that are the strongest, and maybe the weaker people get weaned out early on. So this again is usually a place in Ghastly Harbor where people split, and so it's always tricky for me to know, well, which way do I go? Is there a healer down the docks side or not? There's only 2 people working on the docks, so I better stay with them. But I healed, I was recharging, cooldown was happening, so I couldn't save that guy. Really tricky, also because you can't see their health on the health bars because they are overflowed. They're off the screen. I wish there was a way you could see everybody in the raid's health bars, or maybe the people who had died sort of shrunk down to a small amount or something, so that people that were still alive were bumped to the top. That would be a great feature to add. But here we are. You can see Gap came back to help with the remaining guys. Very nice of him as host, not to be sitting there waiting for the other people to clean him up, but to go and just, take matters into his own hands. And speaking of Gap, he did actually check out our Crazy Glitch Dungeon Quest video and thought it was pretty cool. So how awesome is that, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a small channel, big channel, it's like everybody seems to kind of check each other out and support each other a little bit. So really cool that he checked that video out and thought it was pretty neat. I just can't wait to get, episodes 2, 3, 4, etc. completed, because we've got some really good ideas. We just got to go film it all now. Speaking of final ideas, one of the things I wanted to say, of course, after all these raids was thanks for the raid, Gap. That was awesome. So, of course, I chatted that in the text there and didn't expect anything, but then Gap started running off the edge of the mountain. He's like, hey, no problem, thanks for coming. What a cool guy, right? Awesome. So here we are, we're waiting for the whole group, and I think we are ready to roll in and tackle the Sea Serpent, the final boss. Right? This is the Ghastly Harbor, the tough guy, the final tough guy that we got to defeat. And before we finish this guy off, I was madly typing here saying, hey, maybe sometime you could raid our stream. And because I was madly typing and trying to heal, it came out, you could rash our stream Sumanite, which whatever that meant, I have no idea. But is this actually the Sea Serpent? No, you know better. It's no Sea Serpent. In fact, let's play a little quick game to see if you know.
Who's that Pokemon?
Alright, who is this guy? Pretty clear. Do you know? Yes, that's right, it's Gyarados. He is the final boss. How they got him in here, I have no idea. But clearly not the Sea Serpent. We are taking on Gyarados, trying to catch them all. And Gap's doing a great job of going. I'm standing right next to him, just trying to keep him alive. It's pretty easy once you know the patterns here, and he's got a good spot to stand, so he won't get hit by any of these spokes, really. And he only has to worry about the breath and also the dot that shows up on each of the players a little later on. So as long as I heal for that, we're all good. And he's gone. So check that out. We crashed a Gapptooth raid and boom, we dominated. So everyone has now left the raid. It's just basically like 2 or 3 of us left, and there he is. Thanks so much for hosting that one, Gap. That was awesome. Great to play with you, and thanks for hosting that raid. And thank you all for watching. This was a fun video to put together. Didn't expect it, but saw it on Discord. Gapptooth was hosting a raid. How cool is that? And that's one of the things I love about this Dungeon Quest community. We've been raided by Big Daddy, Decepity, Fox Fam. We stumbled into Kopi Cali during one of our streams. And we've also had people drop in and say hello, like Tanker stopped in to say hello, and also Kelvin GTS. So thanks to everyone for watching.